Tony, are you ready to sound even smarter than Justin?
I don't know that that is possible, but I will try.
We'll try. Well, you definitely have a cuter accent, that's for sure.
Thank you. Okay, key understanding number two is you must adapt your model now for what will work in the future. So I just want to repeat that. You must adapt your model now for what will work in the future. And given that I'm in one of the sunniest climates in the world, I want to use a hockey analogy, and ice hockey in particular. One of the great players in ice hockey is a guy by the name of Wayne Gretzky, so I'm told. And one of the quotes he's famous for is when being asked what makes him such a great player, he says, he doesn't skate to where the puck is. He skates to where the puck is going. And he's one of the best at predicting where the puck is going to. So what's that? How's that relevant in business? Well, the exact same applies. I want you to think about this for a second. If you're skating your business towards where the puck is now and it's moving, when you reach there, the puck will be somewhere else. What you want to be doing is predicting where the puck is actually going to as far as your business goes and skate to that position. And you want to start skating there now. So where is the puck actually going to in the space of transformation? Well, the way markets evolve, and this is the important element that Justin talked about, the fact that we're in a maturing market. And what's important to know is the macro trends when the market is maturing is more important than the micro tactics or techniques. So the macro trends about where the market is going to will dominate how the landscape will look more than any micro tactics will happen here. So what is the macro trend? Well, the macro trend is this. Ultimately, businesses that deliver the same or better service at a lower price always win over time. Businesses that deliver the same or better service at a lower price always win over time. So how does that actually play out? Well, when you start off in the Wild West phase, there's no competitors. You come out, you make a promise. Anybody that vaguely wants anything about that promise comes and buys from you. Then there starts getting some competitors, but there's not that many. So you can differentiate yourself a little bit, okay? And you can say, well, I'm a little different to this person this way. But as more and more competitors flood into the landscape, to differentiate yourself in the eyes of your consumer gets increasingly more difficult, to the point where eventually the consumer looks at it and says, I can't tell the difference. I'm just going to go for the cheapest option that offers the same promise. So the business that can deliver the same or better service at a lower price always wins over time. So how is that relevant? Well, to thrive as our market matures, you must seek to lower the costs of acquiring and servicing a client. Okay, great statement. How the heck do you do that? Well, you do that one of two ways. And again, I'm going to focus on the practitioner and the platform side because this is what actually leads to the lowering of the costs. You either shrink your costs down and focus in on your zone of genius, what you actually want to be doing. So you shrink and focus and move to providing deep service to small numbers of clients and keep your margins high by getting rid of elements that don't support that. So that means moving to a practitioner model, okay? Or you expand. You spread your costs. You expand to provide a wider impact to a larger number of clients, which means moving to a platform model. And we'll share more on a little later on how to actually do both. But if you want to survive in the current market maturation, you must choose practitioner or platform. You cannot be a hybrid of both. Businesses that try to stay in the middle, Those that try to be a practice as well as a platform will always get squeezed out of business. And as Justin was saying a little bit earlier, that's exactly what you saw starting to happen with their business model. So as markets mature, costs go way up, margins tank, okay? And those that can expand and offset that cost are what ultimately dominate. So I'm going to give a couple of examples of mature industries. And I want you to think, if you can see within those mature industries any solopreneur or hybrid business models, that's where at the core of the business, they're trying to be a practice and a platform. I want you to think as I go through a couple of these examples, if you can see any hybrid type businesses that are actually thriving and dominating in these mature industries. So let's look at medicine. Can you think of any medical practitioners that actually build their own hospitals, run their own hospitals, take care of the staffing, take care of the payroll, all that sort of stuff? You don't. You see clinics with practitioners in them. Real estate, the analogy Justin saw as well. You don't see the dominant real estate firms having the owners of those firms be practitioners as well. Financial services, same scenario. Banking, mortgage finance, financial planning, insurance. You don't see that. They've matured beyond that. You've got a clear differentiated split. Publishing, accommodation, even in the more mature elements of what is largely our space, education. Think of schools or institutions or areas of tertiary study. They are more mature platforms and practices. You just don't see the hybrid businesses existing, and they won't exist in the transformation industry in the days coming either. But that's not the full story. The question is, how is the market pivoting and where does it move to? So the bottom line is that all mature markets are dominated by established platforms. Let me be clear. The opportunity only exists because the platforms move first. The way that the practitioners can get their efficiency is because the platforms provide the scale for them to take advantage of that. So what you see right now where we are with the hybrid businesses is those that lead into platforms first are the ones that create the real pivots that allow the practitioners to get their focus and get that efficiency. The practitioners take advantage of the platforms to decrease their costs, to give them more time back, more profit margin back, so that they can focus on their client work. The platforms provide the infrastructure to the practitioners. But the point is, as the market matures, the models are one or the other. There are no hybrids.
Yeah, I actually love how you just taught that. You taught that in a new way at the end there, and it actually landed in me in a totally different way as well. So I love it. I'm going to go through the recording and write all that out because that was really good. So thank you for that. And so again, you got to get off the fence here, no hybrids. And so how do you figure that out? How do you actually decide which is for you?